There comes a moment in every life when a choice must be made. Not a casual choice, not a temporary preference, but a decision that separates the extraordinary from the ordinary. That choice is this: will you think bigger or will you stay average forever? History is filled with men and women who dared to think beyond what was reasonable. They imagined what others laughed at. They pursued what others doubted. And in the end, they achieved what others called impossible. Napoleon Hill said it best: whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. The truth is this: average thinking produces average results, but bold, expansive, limitless thinking creates breakthroughs, wealth, freedom, and impact that ripple across generations. So today, I want to challenge you. I want to shake you awake, because the only thing standing between you and greatness is the size of your vision. Let's begin with the truth. Most people never escape average. Why? Because average is comfortable. Average is safe. Average never asks you to take risks, face rejection, or stretch beyond your comfort zone. Society teaches you to fit in. Go to school, get a job, pay your bills, retire quietly, stay in line, don't rock the boat. And for millions of people, this becomes life. They wake up, follow the same routine, complain about money, envy those who succeed, and then repeat it all again tomorrow. But here's the danger. Average is addictive. Once you accept average in one area of your life, it creeps into every area. Your dreams shrink, your effort weakens, your belief in yourself disappears. Napoleon Hill warned us, whatever you habitually think about becomes your reality. If you think small, you live small. If you think in limits, you live in limits. Pause for a moment. Ask yourself, am I living the life I once dreamed of, or have I settled into average, telling myself it's good enough? Because here's the truth. If you stay average, you will never know the power inside you. You will never see what was possible. You will die with your potential still locked away. Now, let's flip the script. What does it mean to think bigger? Thinking bigger is not about arrogance. It's not about ego. It's about seeing beyond your current circumstances and daring to imagine a future that others cannot yet see. When the Wright brothers dreamed of flying, the world thought they were insane. When Edison insisted he would create light from a bulb, people laughed at him. When Henry Ford envisioned affordable cars for every family, critics mocked him. Yet each of them thought bigger than the average person, and because of that, they reshaped the world. The truth is, big thinking is the seed of innovation, wealth, and legacy. Without it, nothing great is ever built. Napoleon Hill wrote in Think and Grow Rich, "A quitter never wins, and a winner never quits." Winners are simply those who thought bigger than their failures, bigger than their critics, and bigger than their own doubts. Thinking bigger requires you to ask yourself, why not me? Why not now? Why not dream so big it scares me? Understand this. Your results in life will always match the size of your thinking. Small thoughts equal small outcomes. Big, audacious thoughts open doors, attract resources, and summon opportunities you could never imagine. And here's the beautiful paradox. When you think bigger, you attract people, ideas, and energy that pull you out of average and into greatness. But let's be real. Thinking bigger sounds exciting, but it isn't easy. Why? Because most of us are trapped by mental chains, beliefs planted in us since childhood. Be realistic. Don't dream too big. Play it safe. These voices become internal walls. They convince you that success is for other people, that greatness is for the lucky few. But listen carefully. These are lies. Napoleon Hill taught us that limitations are created in the mind. He wrote, "There are no limitations to the mind except those we acknowledge." So if your mind accepts limitation, you live limited. But if your mind dares to break free, your life begins to expand.
Think about it. How many businesses never start because the founder thought it's too risky? How many books never get written because the writer thought no one will read it? How many dreams die because someone thought, I'm not good enough? Your greatest prison is not outside, it's inside your head. But here's the breakthrough. Once you recognize that those limits are illusions, you take back your power. Let me give you a challenge. The next time your mind whispers, you can't, respond with this question. Who says I can't? Where's the evidence? When you expose your limiting beliefs to the light of reason, you realize they have no power over you. Now, let's talk about the practical side. Thinking bigger is not just daydreaming. It is a discipline, a way of life. Here are 3 principles to make it real. 1. Feed your mind with possibility. What you consume shapes your thoughts. Average thinkers consume gossip, entertainment, and negativity. Big thinkers feed on books, ideas, mentors, and inspiration. Napoleon Hill spent 25 years studying the most successful men of his time. Why? To prove that big thinking was a science, that success leaves clues. So, surround yourself with possibility, read biographies, study leaders, fill your environment with reminders that greatness is possible. 2. Set audacious goals. Average people set goals they know they can reach. Big thinkers set goals that stretch them, scare them, force them to grow. When you set a goal so big it makes your heart race, you activate hidden potential. You find strength you didn't know you had. Write this down. A goal should demand more of you than you think you can give. 3. Take relentless action. Here's the difference between dreamers and achievers. Action. You can think big all day, but without action, it's just fantasy. Napoleon Hill said, "Do not wait. The time will never be just right. Start where you stand." Start today. Take one bold step, then another, and another. Momentum builds, and soon your life begins to look unrecognizable. Now let me give you a warning. There is a heavy price to pay for staying average. The cost of average is regret. It's reaching the end of your life and realizing you never truly lived. You played safe, stayed small, and left your potential unused. Imagine being on your deathbed and hearing the ghost of your unlived dreams whispering, "We came to you, but you never gave us life." That is the true tragedy of average. So when you hesitate, when you are tempted to shrink back, remember this. The pain of discipline is temporary, but the pain of regret lasts forever. But here's the good news. When you think bigger, the rewards are extraordinary. You build wealth not just for yourself, but for generations. You create opportunities not just for you, but for others. You inspire people not by your words alone, but by your example. And perhaps most importantly, you live fully alive. You wake up with purpose. You know you are creating, building, achieving at the highest level of your potential. That is freedom. That is success. That is greatness. So I'll ask you again, will you think bigger or will you stay average forever? The choice is yours. Average is easy. Average is safe. But average will never satisfy the hunger inside you. Dare to think bigger. Dare to step beyond the comfort zone. Dare to claim the life that whispers your name. Napoleon Hill reminded us that whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve. So conceive boldly, believe relentlessly, act courageously, and watch as the world opens its doors to you. Because the truth is simple. If you don't think bigger, you'll stay average forever. But if you dare, there will be no limit to what you can achieve.